Okay, peeps, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about the Bitcoin price. We'll do some Bitcoin price analysis and give an update on LTCN BCHG and HZEN, which is the Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Horizon Grayscale trusts. Let's get it. So before we get into the actual charts, show you guys what's going on. We're going to talk about our portfolio real quick. So as you guys can see, our portfolio is up pretty substantially. We are up slightly on HZEN, had a bit of a pullback today, even though it was up quite a bit more. And then LTCN, you guys can see we're almost at a 2x. Now, just to be completely honest, we are considering, at maybe a 2 to 3x on HZEN, taking profit and then repositioning. But for LTCN, we are not going to sell early because we got it at such a good price that it doesn't really make sense for us to sell it, because the upside is just basically, there pretty much is, I shouldn't say only upside, but mostly just upside. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into Bitcoin, the bit of the coin, and talk about what's going on here. So as you guys can see, we have this green zone here. This is the most current zone. It has been flipped from resistance into support between July and December. So we have this, you can see this previous bounce here during the bull run. We retested, got rejected, then came up, and now we are in the process of potentially retesting it, or maybe we'll just go straight up. It's hard to tell at this point. So the short of what's going on with Bitcoin is basically we're still looking for the pennant pattern, bullish pennant pattern target here to play out roughly. If I can actually get the line here, let's see if I can get it. Sorry, 1 second, fellas. So here we go. So basically from the bottom of the pennant to the pretty much wherever the target is. So the short of it is we're looking at roughly about a 46-ish thousand target. This is actually not accurate. Let me go ahead and back and do this again. So all right, so I think I got it this time. So we're going to take a look at, there we go. So there it is. So basically we're looking at about 47,000. The short of it is that we want to see a retest to the March 2022 highs at roughly about 47 to 48,000. We have not gotten there yet. Bitcoin kind of looks like it's consolidating sideways into potentially a breakout here. So you see this green candle followed by a red candle that was smaller than the green one, followed by a green candle, and we're sitting at resistance here. That's a pretty bullish pattern. We would want to see a breakout here with a close above this resistance level at 43,800. If we get a body close above there, that's confirmation for a potential move higher. Again, the RSI is seriously overbought at this point. We have not seen it overbought at these levels for a very long time, as you can see right here. And then also, again, back in 2019, we kind of had this mini bull run and then we sold off. Not saying we're going to have something like that here, but it's possible. But something to keep in mind about the RSI is we actually started getting into overbought territory on Bitcoin in 2020 when it was only at $13,000. So it could still potentially run up for a really long time before selling off. So this could just be the beginning of a run up all the way to the previous all-time highs. We'll just have to keep an eye on it and see what's going on. No bearish divergences yet, so nothing going on with that. So this is Bitcoin. Excuse me. So that's pretty much what's going on with Bitcoin. If we're going to get a rejection, we're pretty much looking for somewhere between 30 to 38,000 to be a potential buy zone. Again, buying off this resistance here or off of this support here at 30 or 38,000, and the bull target is up at 48,000. Now, if it goes beyond that, well, we'll have to keep you updated. Maybe it goes up to 52,000 or maybe back up to 59,000. So with that being said, we're going to take a look now at LTCN. So as you guys can see, LTCN is currently breaking out on the weekly. So we had this bullish close here. We basically said that this was bullish. This turned this previous resistance into support as soon as it had a body close out of this area. As you can see, the last time we had a body close in here was in April of 2022. So the fact that it broke out with a green candle there is pretty significant. So we got these long wick rejections to the downside. That indicates buying pressure basically coming in and sucking the price back up. And then, of course, we have this candle here. If it closes above these candle highs at $10.10 basically, then that is extremely bullish. We could be heading towards potentially as high as somewhere between, I would say, $12.50 all the way up to maybe $15. So reason I say that is because if you guys see, we kind of had like a red, green, red move here. That's where the price currently sits. If it busts out above that, then you'd be looking at these two candles right here as potential resistance. And again, the RSI is massively overbought, but we don't actually really have enough history on these LTCN, on the LTCN grayscale trust for the RSI to really even say when it's too overbought, because you can see that the RSI kind of sold off here. We had this major bearish divergence where the RSI was going down, price was going up, but the price was still kind of sitting between $300 to $500 for months on end. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and pop over to HZEN real quick, which we do hold. We do not have any BCHG currently, still waiting to get that on the dip. If it does happen, if not, then well, that's fine. We'll just put our money into something else. There's always opportunities in the markets. So you can see we're kind of still sitting in this bullish pennant pattern. It has not had a confirmed move one way or another. So the RSI is not really overbought, and the MACD is in bullish territory. Basically, what we're looking for here is we would like to see a candle close above this roughly 178 level. If we can get that, that would be extremely bullish. You can see we got rejected here on all these wicks. It's continuously tried to get up there, but the bears have basically come in and said, no, we're gonna we're gonna dump on you. Or people that have been long since down in this level here, position traders, are basically taking profit. But the target for this, if we were to measure it out from the breakout point, let's just assume that we do actually have a breakout this week. The target for this thing would be roughly about $2.20. So let's hope that happens. Now with BCHG, we are in overbought territory on the RSI. As you guys can see, we have had a previous RSI high here where the price did pull back pretty substantially from the wick high to the wick low, roughly about 55%. And again, it got rejected off resistance here. So this would be your classic double top, which is a bearish pattern. But then we did break out and we had this massive candle close into resistance, but again, got rejected with this wick. So this this pattern here, you guys might be able to see it if you do technical analysis. It may be obvious at this point, but this pattern here might actually end up kind of playing out like a bull flag. If that does happen, then the next target for BCHG, if it once it does break out, I should say, so basically from the, or my bad, sorry, this is not accurate. So from the breakout point to the peak here, you'd be looking at potentially $5.14, which lines up almost perfectly with this resistance zone between 538 and 580. But again, we got to get through this zone up here between 380 and 417. If it cannot get through that zone, then it would be coming back down to this roughly 240 to 280 zone, which is where we personally would be looking to buy. So again, the RSI is overbought. Bitcoin itself is overbought. And another thing that I want to point out to y'all that we haven't really talked about much is the total market caps. So this is all of crypto, including Bitcoin. You can see the RSI is overbought. This is total 2, which excludes Bitcoin. Again, we just hit overbought territory. And also the total 3, which is basically all altcoins excluding Bitcoin and ETH, as you can see up here, is also in overbought territory. Again, we have not been in this zone for a long time. Last time we had this, we had a huge 50% drop. And just another quick note on stocks. Not that this necessarily has anything to do with crypto, but there is some correlation between stocks and crypto. They are both massively overbought right now. As you can see, the 50-day is on both the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 are currently sitting in the sell zone for the 50-day stocks above the moving average. So anyways, this is our update on Bitcoin, LTCN, BCHG, and HZEN. Hope you all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.